And now it's official, I finally finished my first game. Hi there, I'm Vinny, and welcome to my game dev journey, the series of videos where I'm showing all you guys all the steps I'm making to become a successful game developer. And this week, I finally finished my first game. If you are accompanying the last videos, you're probably aware that I've been working on polishing this game that I created to test my developing skills. And as I said in the last week, I took the last step to call this game finished. Welcome to Game Dev Journey Begins, the game that started this YouTube series. In this game, you will explore this tiny village and its quirky characters, learning how to do some chores along the way. While exploring this village, you will be able to gather food for the village people by planting crops or by fishing. And if you need a place to rest, you need to be ready to collect some wood from the trees around the village. So then you can build a house for you to live alongside the villagers. But don't just walk around aimlessly. Living skeletons are always alert around the village graveyard, ready to hunt you down. But no need to be scared, since you can easily defeat them with your axe. It works more than just for cutting trees after all. The village is very humble, and it's not in any way big, but you can take your time exploring it while you enjoy the vibes. As I said in the last video, the only things that remained for me to do was making the volume and language settings functional. And just as I said, making the volume settings work was easy, but making the language settings work was a nightmare. When I started this project, the idea was simply to learn how to make these simple mechanics, and because of that, many functions that I created was made to work only on this main scene. So when I decided to make a main menu, a lot of those functions stopped working as intended, or at least showed itself to be very hard to work with. And the biggest example of this was the different language system. If you don't know yet, I made so this game have two different language options to choose, in English and in Brazilian Portuguese. And at the time, the only thing that this altered was the NPC dialogues. So I created a whole code for this inside the dialogue system. But when I created another scene, the main menu in this case, with button names and written user interface, I couldn't access the language function from the other scene. The correct way to fix this was to refactor everything, creating this language system all from zero. But this will take a lot more time with this game, and at this point, I just want to finish it so I can move to other projects. I think that it is very important to know the amount of effort to put in a game, because you have to think, is it more important to make this very simple first game the most polished game ever? Or can I just make some workarounds so I can move on and create new games? And believe me, I really don't like to make workaround in codes. I worked as a startup developer in the past, and one thing that I learned is that workarounds always shows up to bite you in the future. But for this language system, I had to give in on making a lot of workarounds to make it work as intended. It's nasty, but I'll be sure to consider more the scope of the future games before putting their functions at any place of the code. I'll have to say that the biggest difficulties that I encountered while making this game was a result of me not having a well set scope from it from the beginning, leaving me to solve them all together late on the project. And I also had a hard time deciding when to stop adding more ideas for the game. For example, I really thought that I should create an inside ambient for the houses of the village, including the one that you can build. But after considering a lot, this just seemed as a lot of big and unnecessary work. It would be great for the game, yes, but the amount of work that this would add doesn't seem worth it. But if I have to say what step of creating this game I enjoyed the most, I would say that it was creating the art for it. When I started this project, I used the Sunnyside World asset pack that is available for free on itch.io. This asset pack worked great for the initial idea, but when I got more invested into this project, I felt the urge to make my own art for it. Recreating all the characters' animations and tile map assets seemed too much work for this project, but when I saw that the dialogue system needs some improvement, I took this opportunity to create my own art for the game. I never worked with pixel art before, so I had to study a lot before making the portraits for the characters, but when I did it, I got very excited with pixel art, so much that I even remade all the UI elements and later the main menu elements. I don't know if I'll be doing pixel art for all of my future games. I really like games with pixel art style, but it also have a lot of limitations, and making the games be pixel perfect makes some extra work. But I have to say, I really enjoyed using Azeprite. If you don't know, Azeprite is a tool that you can find on Steam intended for doing pixel art. And there is many other tools to make game art, but I think that none of them make exporting art to game format so easy as Azeprite. Even animations are made easy with this tool, so I think that I'll definitely will be working with it again in the future. Oh, and one thing that I never talked about in this game yet was about its background music. I really enjoy music creating, but I'm very unskilled in this area yet, and it's because of that that I asked for the help of a very big friend of mine to create 2 songs for this game. You'll probably hear in one of these songs right now in this background of this video. He's a very skilled music creator, and right now he's working on a project with a new YouTube channel named Folivara Studio, where he's creating a really cool Synthwave music, and he's also have another channel more focused on Lo-Fi music as well. I will be leaving his channel links in the description, so if you enjoy Synthwave and cyberpunk aesthetics, or maybe some Lo-Fi, go check him out. He is very talented, so I know that he will be big someday. So, this is it for this video. As I promised, I'll make this game available for you guys to play it on my itch.io account. You can find the link on my channel description or in this video description. You will also find in my itch.io another game that I've made in the past and that I showed a little of it in the last videos. It is called The Bane of the Shellcrawler. It's a game that I made all by myself in only 4 days for the GMTK Game Jam. And even though this game is playable, it is not finished. The game lacks some polish, and there are many places that you can soft lock yourself, making you need to close the game so you can try again. It's not my finest work, but it's also something that I've made. So if you decide to play any of these 2 games of mine, be sure to leave a comment on this video, talking about your experience with it, and what you think about it overall. And now, this stage of my game dev journey is finally finished, so subscribe to this channel to accompany me in the next stage where I'll be creating a whole new project. Leave a like and hit the bell icon to be notified of my future uploads, and farewell, and see you next time!